Hey monkeys, how you doing? Damian Keys here. It's first thing in the morning in the office, and obviously it's time for tea with the almond milk. I had some really good feedback about the almond milk. I think people were digging the almond milk, which I thought was quite cool. So it's first thing in the morning. I've just grabbed Al. I just wanted to do a quick video whilst I make a cup of tea because I've got quite a busy day today. But last night I went to see the Impractical Jokers at the O2. Now, if you haven't seen the Impractical Jokers, it's a show on Comedy Central with four lifelong friends who are kind of comedians doing crazy things and embarrassing each other. And at the end of the show, they have to do this very embarrassing sort of forfeit, as it were. And they're now doing a live show. They're over in this country. They played the O2 to 15,000 people. And I'm a fan of the show. I really enjoyed it. But the live show, I wasn't really sure what to expect. So went down to 15,000 people at the O2. It's a big number, built a big audience already. And there was 5 really inspirational things that happened last night whilst I was watching that I wanted to share because I think it's a really important some really important lessons that happened. One of the things which I didn't know, even though I've sort of known about these guys, they kind of exploded on the scene about 2 years ago with their own TV show on Comedy Central. But one thing I found out last night is they've been doing this for 20 years. They've known each other for 27 years, but they've been doing this sort of thing for 20 years. And it's only been in the last couple of years that it started to become successful. And the show last night, they said, was the biggest show that they've ever done. So it's taken them 20 years to get to this bit, even though I've only heard about them for the last 2, and some of you guys might not have even heard of them at all. And I thought that was very inspirational because we talk quite a lot about playing the long-term game and longevity and last man standing and carrying on going so you can build experience and get better and better at what you do. I think that's amazing. 2 years of fame building up to culminating into playing an arena tour, which is fantastic. However, 20 years, and one of the guys, Q, was still a fireman while he was shooting at least the first season of the show, which I thought was really, really impressive. Something else, the next thing I noticed, number 2 in the 5 inspirational things I learned last night was niceness gets you so far. I mean, these are 4 incredibly likable human beings. So if you, not that I was following, but if you watch the social media, you watch the programs, obviously, when you see them, they're incredibly nice people. And it makes you want to be a part of their journey. It makes you want to like them. That nicety thing, it really, really helps. And it means when they do social media, because they're always smiling and laughing and having fun, it's quite infectious. And that niceness, it really helps. So that was something that whilst I was watching, I was thinking, you can get so much further if you're averagely talented, but you're incredibly nice. It's a big, big deal. So that was the second thing I learned. And then the next thing was, before the show, you're sitting in your seats and stuff, and there was a lady sat next to me, and she had her phone, and she was watching a Facebook Live of one of the guys called Murr, and it was on her phone. So I was sat in the O2 Arena with a lady sat next to me, and on her phone, she was watching them backstage live. Now, they didn't Facebook Live the show. They Facebook Lived leading up to the show, something leading up to the show, which I thought was incredibly cool because they were very excited about what's happening, so they had lots to say, and it was Murr who was doing it. And I thought that was very, 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 very clever. And what was even more clever was he didn't Facebook Live from his own account or from the Impractical Jokers account. He Facebook Lived from Comedy Central's account. So he's already got an Impractical Jokers account, a Facebook platform, except that what he actually did was he hijacked Comedy Central's platform, which is going to have millions and millions of people watching, and he hijacked that for 10 minutes, which I thought was very clever because there's that collaboration instead of actually using his own Facebook. And yes, he wants to look after his own followers and his own fans, but he got onto a brand new platform, a new audience where people who probably didn't know much about him who will now, and Facebook Lived. And then the next bit is what he did in his Facebook Live was amazing. So everyone's backstage doing their thing. He came out from backstage and he hijacked a drink stand and he did a Facebook Live while he's holding his phone and he's Facebooking Live, and he just said, I'm buying everyone drinks, that's what's happening here. And he was serving the drinks. So there's all the people who work in this drink stand at the O2. It's a bit of pandemonium. They're kind of getting in the drinks. He's like, what would you like? And someone goes, oh, I'd like a Coke and I'd like a beer and a selfie. And he goes, cool. And he gets them and he puts it through, and then he does the selfie, and he's Facebook Living the whole thing. This went on for 10 minutes. And he's making jokes about it, going, this is going to cost me a fortune, and I hope Comedy Central is going to pick up the tab, and I hope I'm going to get a discount. And he's making jokes and making light about it. But that 10 minutes of giving away free drinks at the O2, which, let's face it, is going to be a very expensive place to buy drinks, the whole thing cost him 300 quid. Now, obviously, I'm not expecting you to give away loads and loads of free drinks, but if you think about the size of Comedy Central, if you think about the size of the budgets for Impractical Jokers and that kind of stuff, 300 quid is nothing. I mean, it's pennies, it's a drop in the ocean. However, the amount of people that he just reached on Comedy Central's Facebook Live, which he shared then through his own, which he shared through Impractical Jokers, which is then shared by everyone else, and seeing that, plus the niceness of it, plus how funny it was, 300 quid for incredible PR and incredible marketing to a bunch of people that he's never seen before. So I thought that was an absolutely fantastic bit of PR, is he Facebook Live what he was doing, and he basically just gave away free drinks, and it cost them 300 quid. Absolutely brilliant. And the last thing, number 5, the 5th most inspirational thing I learned from last night was, at the O2, I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's a venue in London for anyone who's not in this country. It's a big arena, it holds 20,000 people, there's about 15,000 people in there. And it comes to the end and they're saying their thank yous and goodbyes. And because the traffic to get out of this arena is an absolute nightmare, it's a notoriously, it's a nightmare. So everyone's leaving, we want to get out as quick as possible, got to get to pay our ticket, etc., etc. It's going to take us ages to get out, so everyone wants to get out first. And what was amazing was, they were the last to leave, pretty much. It was absolutely brilliant, where they had this music going and they were messing around on stage. One of them had dressed up and he was on one of those kind of hoverboard things and messing around. And people are literally walking out. And 5 minutes later, there is like a quarter of the people left in this arena, and they're still on stage, they're still taking selfies with some of the guys in the front row, they're still messing around, they're singing a song. They're not even walked off the stage. They are just saying, no, you're all right to leave now, that's cool. We're gonna carry on working. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that we're gonna get as much out of this as possible. It was so inspirational, because I wanted to get out because I wanted to get my car. But at the same point, I was just thinking, they're still going, they're still in there, they're still going. And that is, for me, was an inspirational thing. So, it's first thing in the morning, just woken up, and I wanted to get that out. But 5 very inspirational things that I learned from one show last night. So, let's see what the day holds. I'll see you guys tomorrow.